Hello, my name is Anthony Beardslee, a graduate student at the University of Nebraska. This presentation is being done in partial fulfillment of ED/AD 910. In this presentation, I will be discussing the manner in which two states manage the governance of higher education. The states that I will be discussing are Nebraska and Arizona. The governing agency for Nebraska's public colleges, including their community colleges, is the Coordinating Commission for Post-Secondary Education. The mission statement for the Coordinating Commission is displayed here. The mission of the Coordinating Commission for Post-Secondary Education is to represent the citizens of the state for the purpose of coordinating public post-secondary educational institutions in the state. Coordination for Nebraska's private schools is handled by the Association of Independent Colleges and Universities of Nebraska, or the AICUN. Their mission statement is displayed here. To champion the success and importance of independent colleges and universities in Nebraska. In Arizona, the public colleges that offer bachelor's degrees and above are governed by the Arizona Board of Regents. You will note that I did not mention community colleges, as with Nebraska's Coordinating Commission. More on that later. The mission statement for the Board of Regents is displayed here. The Arizona Board of Regents is committed to ensuring access for qualified residents of Arizona to undergraduate and graduate institutions. The Arizona State Board for Private Post-Secondary Education is the state agency that licenses and regulates the private institutions of Arizona. Their mission statement: to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Arizona citizens by regulating private post-secondary educational institutions and providing services to their students. Richard Richardson et al. Discussed the higher education governance in their 1998 paper. The authors describe 4 work processes that are often found in these state agencies that govern higher education. These processes are collecting and disseminating information about performance, prescribing the framework for budgeting, allocating responsibilities for monitoring program quality and redundancy, and providing arrangements for encouraging higher education institutions to see themselves as a system and to work together on such tasks as school-to-college transitions and student transfer. As I describe the governing agencies of Nebraska and Arizona, you will see some or all of these processes taking place. So let's first talk about Nebraska's Coordinating Commission for Post-Secondary Education. According to their website, the CCPE is a state constitutional agency whose mission is to promote sound policies for Nebraska's state and community colleges and the University of Nebraska. Their responsibilities include collaborating with the state's public colleges and universities to implement a plan that will guide Nebraska's higher education system, administering student financial aid programs, conducting research and publishing reports on higher education issues, authorizing academic programs, approving proposals for facilities, reviewing institutions' budget proposals and making recommendations to the state legislature, and approving applications from out-of-state institutions. Nebraska's Coordinating Commission does not govern the private colleges of Nebraska in the same manner, but they do include the private schools in their research, and there is plenty of information about Nebraska's private colleges on the Commission's website. Furthermore, the Commission will be involved to provisionally accredit a private college which has not been previously accredited by a regional or professional accrediting association. Nebraska's private colleges are assisted by the Association of Independent Colleges and Universities of Nebraska. According to their website, the association works primarily with public policymakers at the state and national levels in the areas of student financial aid, tax policy, educational policy, and government regulation. Their primary responsibility is to represent the common interests of its members before the Nebraska legislature, the Congress, and other government entities such as the Governor's Office, the Nebraska Coordinating Commission, and the U.S. Department of Education. Okay, moving westward to Arizona, we take a look at the Arizona State Board of Regents. According to their website, the board is responsible for the state's public universities: Arizona State University, Northern Arizona University, and the University of Arizona. The board provides policy guidance in such areas as academic student affairs, financial and human resource programs, student tuition and fees, financial aid programs, university capital development plans, strategic plans, legal affairs, and public and constituent outreach. The Arizona Board of Regents is very similar to Nebraska's Coordinating Commission. Both agencies provide governance and oversight in their respective states in the matters of performance, budgeting, academic programs, facilities, and educational collaboration. However, unlike Nebraska's Coordinating Commission, the Arizona Board of Regents does not provide any oversight or governance of Arizona's community colleges. In my research of Arizona's community colleges, I ran across several documents that showed that the state-level governance of community colleges was in a never-ending state of flux, kind of an on-again, off-again thing where the baton was being passed from one agency to another. However, I was able to verify the current state of Arizona's community colleges with a phone call to Mr. Michael Crockett, who is the Dean of Instruction at Eastern Arizona College, which is one of Arizona's community colleges. Mr. Crockett said that there is currently no state agency that oversees community colleges. They are, for the most part, autonomous, with the obvious exception of academic oversight from their accrediting agencies. They are governed solely by their locally elected boards of governors. The Arizona State Board for Private Post-Secondary Education provides oversight and governance of Arizona's private colleges. It is a state government agency, unlike Nebraska's AICUN, which is an independent association, not a legislative branch of Nebraska's government. It's also noteworthy that the ASB-PPE is independent of the Arizona Board of Regents. They do not fall under the governance of the Arizona Board. They are separate entities, and I must say, if I were a member of the Arizona Board of Regents, I would be just fine with that, as there are 260 private colleges in Arizona as opposed to Nebraska's 14. The website for the ASB-PPE states that they license and regulate all of the private colleges and vocational programs and is responsible for a wide range of issues, from the approval of programs to conducting inspections. Additionally, their website lists some very specific agency goals, ones that I can only imagine are issues because of the sheer number of private schools to look after. These goals are to ensure legal operations, ethical practices, and quality education in the private post-secondary sector, to maintain effective and efficient regulation of the private post-secondary educational institutions, to assist those injured by private post-secondary educational institutions, to collect or secure money sufficient to provide for student financial restitution as a result of a school closure, and to provide student educational records in a timely manner. So let's take a look at the differences between Nebraska and Arizona and which systems might be stronger or more effective. The Coordinating Commission in Nebraska and the Board of Regents in Arizona are both state agencies, providing governance for their public colleges. But while Nebraska covers all public colleges, Arizona just covers the bachelor and graduate level institutions. An advantage that Nebraska may have in this regard is that they have the ability to ensure that the community colleges, state colleges, and universities are all on the same page in terms of educational goals. In particular, having oversight of the community colleges allows them to ensure transferability, which they have done with the Nebraska Transfer Initiative. On the other hand, Arizona's community colleges have the advantage of developing programs and activities that are tailor-made to the needs of the communities that they serve. They can also add and remove programs more quickly without having to navigate the red tape of a state agency. In terms of private schools, Nebraska's Coordinating Commission has a mild amount of coordination with their private schools, while Arizona's Board of Regents has no coordination with the private schools. Instead, they have a separate state agency for this. For Nebraska's private schools, there is an independent association working on their behalf. In this area, I don't know that you can really compare the two, since Arizona has so many more private schools to manage. Of course, one would be compelled to say that Nebraska's private schools enjoy the autonomy that should come with being a private, independent institution. But I'm willing to bet that if Nebraska had over 200 private schools, they might be compelled to create a state agency just like Arizona did. And with that, this concludes my presentation on state-level higher ed governance in Nebraska and Arizona. Thank you.